Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great day. The SPY was all over the place. It was down, up, and then the Mag 7 closed kind of red. Apple was still up. Google was up, the ones we liked, and Tesla was actually up. So let's go through, see what's going on. Hope everybody had a great day. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And how are we today? And let's go and see what that heat. Whoa, what did I do? I had the heat map already up. Well, I started out like that, so whatever. And then I flip back. You guys can see what I look like, And there you go. So, all right, let's rock and roll. And here we go. How about that Wang and Lee, guys? I mean, who was the earliest on Wang and Lee? You guys, I think, have to know. We were checking out Wang and Lee for a little while, and it's over 10 cents right now in the after hours. That jumped up big. And how are you, Josh and Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel, Doge Mom and Nine, and everybody else? How are we tonight? And let's go through. And Wang and Lee definitely running up here in the after hours, that's for sure. And watch for it in the morning and see if it can cruise some more up to that 50 right there. We'll see if it hits that 12 cents and then what it wants to do at that point. But looking pretty good at that 10 cents and cruising along. So there you go. Luis Rodriguez started watching the Joe Exotic interview. Fascinating stuff. Yeah, everybody, please check out that Joe Exotic interview last night at this time. I was talking to Joe Exotic through the video together, and I'm telling you guys, we have to make it a two-parter because how are you, Doge Mom and I? We have to make that bad boy a two-parter. I'm going to talk to him again Thursday evening at like 8 p.m. So the show will be the same time, normal time, and but yeah, I have to. I've been doing some research. I mean, you have to go to this Joe Exotic. What is it? Joe Exotic. What the heck is the name of the website here? I know it'll come up. Official. That's what it was. Joe Exotic. I'll just show you guys. Check this out, guys, and then just go in here and look at like the appeal and evidence and all kinds of crazy stuff. You have to read the FBI misconduct report. I was reading that. And then you just, like I said, go in here and it is just crazy amounts of stuff. And I'll just show you real quick what I'm talking about. So the former Secret Service and private investigator dissects trial transcripts and the case for Joe Exotic. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy shit going on and I mean, it's wild. And they have all this stuff. Like if you look, Jeff Lowe signed a confession. These guys were working with the feds, then the feds turned on them. It is wild, guys. Look, they have all the like the tapes and stuff. I mean, it's pretty crazy, guys. I'm not gonna lie. You guys have to check this out. And like I said, they're kind of long, some of them, but yeah, they have all these recordings from their actual phones, and like they apparently we're working with the feds from what he was saying, and yeah, and all the cell phones in prison. I'm telling you, I got into all kinds of crazy stuff last night. I had no idea, believe me. But look at this, Lowe's abusing children and stuff, and they have it all, like all this documentation, because what happened was Jeff Lowe and this crew was working with the feds, and then they tried to set up Joe Exotic. Apparently, this is obviously, what I'm reading and hearing from. But if you look at it, so and then the feds came in after these guys, and then they took their like their phones, but they thought they wiped everything, but never wiped the cache, the back end of it. And then the feds had all this information, and then obviously when you subpoena and all that, and your attorney gets a hold of it all. So, and then, yeah, he was saying like he wasn't allowed to talk about any of this during the trial because they had already made deals with the prosecutors and all kinds of crazy stuff, guys. So, yeah, you got to check this out. And there's all kinds of videos and information right here. But just listen to what he was saying last night and listen to the interview. It is wild. And the cell phones in prison. And yeah, I understand you didn't want to answer that question either. And yeah, I was just curious. So you hear all these people in the background, and the drug prices are insane, right, Robin? Holy cow! I don't even know how they come up with that kind of money either. That's what I was wondering. Where does this money come from? And who the hell? Like, man, these guards must make a fortune with the prices like that. So check it out. We went through everything talking about cannabis, drug prices, cell phones in prison, and then he just got into it all, and it is wild. So I'll ask him what he likes better, KSS or D Nut right there. That's for sure. And Cole's right here. How about that bad boy running up today? And remember how early I was on Cole saying it had been bullish way back there, guys. So we were super early to the party on Cole's. And donut, Krispy Kreme, I was trying to think of it. That looks really good to run up some more tomorrow morning. So keep your eye on good old donut right there. It is looking pretty good. So there you go with them two. And so there you are, Jason. But yeah, donuts looking pretty good, and Coles. I don't think Coles that had a run up. It might have some pullback, but this may have some momentum left in it in the tank for tomorrow. So yeah, but Coles kind of pulled back right there. As you can see, it was way up there over 20, and there you go. So here we go. Let's take a look and see what's going on. And yeah, that Lockheed Martin was down and NOC was way up. Look how far Lockheed Martin dipped down right there. I did see that. And then look how high Northrop Grumman ran up, guys. Isn't that crazy? So what a difference of two worlds right there. That's for damn sure. And they are two earnings calls right there. Northrop Grumman really good. And obviously Lockheed Martin not so good right there. So I don't like earnings calls anyway or playing the charts, but that was crazy right there. If you happen to call that one right, that would have been nice. So there you go. And here we go. Let's take a look and see what's going on. And be sure to check out the Joe Exotic interview. Let me know what you guys think of it too, and retweet it and all that good stuff. Get it out there and let people know about it. I'm telling you, you listen to it, you're gonna be blown away. I think I was like sitting there like the whole night. Like it was like for the 40 minutes I was on the phone. I couldn't even believe what he was telling me. So I wasn't expecting all that. I'm not gonna lie. And just to check something out and show you something real quick, guys. Remember, where was it? Over here. I forget where the heck was it over here, and it was the indices. And remember, we looked at this the other day, and I said it looked good. The Nikkei 225, and look at that, Japan. They had a trade deal with Japan this evening. So there you go. U.S. futures rise on Japan trade deal. So apparently, Trump announced trade deal with Japan, including 15% tariff. So you could see that start pumping up the market. Like I said, they have a whole Rolodex that they can just start throwing out there. That market looks like it wants to dip down, but you never know with this guy and what they're going to do. So that is what it looks like. And again, and we did mention that the other day, that was for sure. And look at crypto. Bitcoin was just running in the 120s. I just saw the stock cube. I was just looking at it. And yeah, Bitcoin Solana though, look at this bad boy at 204, right? Where is it? What the heck? Yeah, it's like 203 right there, right around there, 203. So yeah, Solana's ripping up like we had talked about into the top. Ethereum kind of topped out, but it may kind of rip up a little bit more, and Ripple's up there and obviously making a base. Look at Doge up here. That might come down a little bit too. I don't know if they want to stay in the top, but they are making nice bases right there. You can see Cardano, XLM, big base up there, and Chainlink right here is making a pretty decent base in the top. So they could pull back a hair. SUI making a really good base right there. And even if they're pulling back, they're not coming down very far. And there's that optimism. So there you go. And let's take a look and see what the market was doing today. Let's roll right through and I'll get to the messages. And here we go. So we did look at that Wang and Lee already, and it is running up now. So take a look at Wang and Lee. It is already kind of running up there. We had it coming out of the basement back here. I mean, we looked at this thing all the way down here when it was in like the 3-cent range, and now you're cruising over 10. So super early right there, that's for sure. And let's take a look and see GVH, because that reverse split was trying to run up a little bit, and it did pull back there. It did run that $10, but it's at 7 something right now for GVH. And will it run tomorrow? I'm not exactly sure. I guess I was a little bit too early on this one looking at the chart, and then they pulled out the old reverse split and took it down, and then it ran up on the reverse split, but it doesn't look that great. This one looks pretty good, though. This HCTI, this healthcare triangle, is trying to get set up here. It's had a really weird look for a few days here. Look at this thing, real crazy. And then today, all of a sudden, starts looking a little bit better. So might want to take a look. And if these big caps start pulling back, we know that the penny ones like to run. And look at this HCTI. It looks pretty good right there, guys, I must say. You might want to keep an eye on that. And we mentioned this Chanson's International last night, and this was looking pretty nice. Chanson International right here. It was up a little bit, and it's curling up looking pretty nice as well. So you might want to keep an eye on Chanson right now, and it's hitting that 20, gets over to 20, little healthy pullback. It's going to get rolling. So that's another one to definitely keep an eye on. Here's another one we've been watching for a while here, GIBO, and it looked a lot better today as it started running up right there, curling up. So keep an eye on that. We'll see if this one can actually get curled up. Look at that 20 down there. If it gets into that channel, you have a big pop up right there. So you might want to watch this GIBO. It's a Hong Kong, another Hong Kong one. We know that these Hong Kong guys love to run. So a couple good penny ones. And again, the GVH did catch us on that reverse split, but these guys are appearing to set back up. So keep an eye on them. And this OST is down. I just been tracking this thing. And look at it. I think tomorrow might be a better day for it. It was trying to move in the after hours, it looks like. But yeah, I think that this one's looking way better right here. So you might want to take a look at that. So a pretty healthy list right off the bat with some penny stocks right there. And they are looking pretty good. So we'll be watching them in the morning, of course, to see what they want to do. And this BTOG, let's see what it wants to do here. Bit Origin. And that is in the top. We'll see if we can take that bounce up there tomorrow. And again, this one is a crypto kind of treasury one. They want to have a bunch of Dogecoin, and we'll see if it does want to stay up into the top. But that was a nice run up there when it got up over like $1 right there, $1. So that was a beautiful run up, and we had been watching that, and we're pretty early. And I know Terps Trader and Zach were on that one. And IXHL right here is trying to run up a little bit more today in the top. Just be careful because it is in the top here. But they have been running up here quite well. And it doesn't look too bad right there, Doge Mama 9. So there you go. Continuing the run up. And our QMCO. Hold on, I'm trying to type tonight, and I'm actually able to type a little bit. I think hitting different letters with my bandage, but I think it might be like one of the last nights, guys. You might be able to see this thing in the next night. Now I'm kind of like, damn, I wish I had taken a picture of it when it happened, but I'm telling you, I didn't even want that thing on my camera roll because I didn't even want to look at it. It literally made me nauseous, like looking at it. Nothing, I don't think ever, no injury or anything has ever done that to me before. That's how gross this thing was. I mean, it ripped my fingertip off and literally grew on back in like less than 2 weeks. I'm telling you, it's insane. I've never seen anything like it. So yeah, I'm like typing right now and moving around after I just cut my fingertip off less than 2 weeks ago. So unbelievable, guys. And my bone was sticking out. I mean, it's kind of a crazy story. I'm not gonna lie. I've never heard of anything like that before. And even her hand surgeon was pretty impressed. So I don't know what the hell happened, but maybe it was because I quit drinking soda. I don't know. But Pepsi just said I saw their tweet and they said that they were doing something, and I don't know if they're getting rid of corn syrup or what the hell they're doing. But this QMCO looks pretty good, guys. And this one does appear like it wants to set back up. Let's go through them all real quick. I know that RGTI was pulling back because I seem to when I have to lead with that finger, I hit all the other letters. But RGTI was pulling back here a little bit today. And again, you might have a little healthy pullback. This 20 might meet it like right here. Maybe it comes down. It could come down a little bit more, actually. Looking at it right there. Let me see over here, RGTI. Yeah, I mean, it does look like it could come down a little bit more there. So we'll be keeping an eye on that RGTI, but it will get rolled off and get moving. And QUBT is pulling back right there. Looks like it was trying to go up in the after hours. So a little pullback to the 50s right here, like we were talking about. And that's what we were looking at. And there you go, QBT, that quantum one. And let's see what the rest of them are looking like right here with QBTS. And that's a D-Wave. And that is pulling back, has good support down there, but it is pulling back. And I assume Quantum Defiance ETF is pulling back, and that's hitting the 20. What didn't want to get back into the top. And this IONQ right here is pulling back, and that looked like it was trying to get set up, and then it changed courses right there. Had looked really good right there. Hit that resistance, came back down. Wednesday earnings August 6th. So after that Tuesday, that Wednesday, I guess, because that August 5th is a Tuesday, I believe, because we were looking at it, and everybody has earnings that day. But anyway, IONQ pulling back and looks like it could have a little more pullback right there. And let's just look at the Z space right here and see what's going on with, oh, I don't know what I typed in, but ZSPC and Z space right here is, I'm telling you guys, it looked like it tried to bottom out. This thing gets up into this channel. Look at how much room it has to move. So you could be seeing Z space get ready, and we might have to keep an eye. I got to jot that one down just to keep an eye on it tomorrow, see what it's up to right there. And that is that Z space. There we go. And I will keep an eye on that one. That's for sure. And here we go. Let's just keep on cruising right through the list. And I keep hitting the W's. Oh, I see why. Because the bandage is so big. And when I try to put it down, it just hits the letters. So it is a little tough. My other keyboard in my shed is, I guess, a little bit bigger because I was out there typing like perfectly fine. And I came in here, and it seemed like I was hitting all the letters. I didn't realize that the keyboards were different sizes, but they must be because I didn't really have a problem out there, and then here I can't really type as well. Anyway, that's I should be done with this thing pretty soon. I'm not gonna lie. And here is Holo trying to curl back up right here, and look at that thing. It looks like it's gonna roll off this China one, and it does look really good. That's for sure. And since we're talking about that, let's just go to FFAI and I'll talk about that right now because look at that pop up, and Nader smashed that one out of the park. And remember, he said it like to run 100% right now, and I'd say it ran. And I hope you guys were listening to good old Nader. So Nader from TrendSpider, thank you for that call right there because that was a beauty, and that one ran up big. And again, I keep, let me write this down and make sure I send that out for you guys, the TrendSpider info, because I do have some good summer specials going on, and I need to send that out to you guys. So I just made a note so I do remember, and that is that. And if anyone has any questions, just let me know, obviously. But here we go. I don't know why I hit that, but here we go. That is FFAI and Holo right there. And UNH is up a little bit and starting to look a lot better down here. They do have earnings coming up on July 29th. And look at it. It does look like it's going to start making that big curl up. That could be the bottom right there. So that is your UNH right there. And Pfizer right here was up a little bit. I did see that. And even Moderna, I don't even remember what it is. Moderna, it'll come up, I think. Where the heck? Here it is. mRNA. And that was up today. So them bad boys do look like they want to run back up. Remember, we were talking about this basing out down here. So it does appear like it did base out. So you might want to keep an eye on UNH and in your Pfizer and your Moderna right there because they're not looking too bad. And here we go with our GRYP. And it did just sit right there. I'm telling you guys, this thing is getting set up to do something. That's for damn sure. You can see it right there. So take a look at GRYP right there. A little bit of pullback, but this thing's going to get turned around and start cruising. And let's see what's up. It does not have options. It's just a cheapie right there, but I'm telling you, this thing could get really, really cruising. We know that Trump's involved with it, and there you go with GRYP. And let's look at the PEW because that's another one that Trump Jr. is involved with. And I do think it's making that quick base down here, like we talked about. It bottomed out yesterday, and maybe a day or two we'll look at it some more and see if it's really curling up there. We won't jump into it too early. Don't want to get your money tied up or have it pull back, but we definitely want to be taking a look at that one. And PSQH right here. This one had a little pullback back to that 20 and 50, and you might get that roll off coming up. So we will be watching this one right here. And that is your PSQH. And there you go. So we'll see if that does have a roll off. It did have a nice pullback right there for PSQH. And let's look at our Clover Health right here because it was up a little bit. And I did see that today. And it's in the 320s right there. I know it was up a little bit yesterday. It was up a little bit more. And now it was 340 to 345. It came back. It's at 327 right now. Could be a little healthy pullback right there as it's getting set up. So keep an eye on your Clover Health. And let's see what Oscar's doing. Oh, SCR. Oh, there we are, Oscar. And this one was starting to crawl up, and I really think that one's starting to be in a good spot. So there you go with them healthcare ones looking a lot better, that's for sure. And that is your Oscar OSCR. And here's Soundhound dipping down a little bit. And let's see if it wants to, because that was trying to get set up as well. And now you have that pullback look, and let's see what it wants to do right here. If it wants to, I mean, it has that look like it could pull back down into this channel right here, but it also could get that bounce. So that's definitely one we have to look at for tomorrow morning. See what direction that one really wants to go right there with Soundhound. And how about your Gush? Telling you guys, these things are trying to get set up right here. You might see this as the bottom, might see it come down a little bit more right there, but that oil and gas and all these things, the gold, silver, and all that is looking pretty good. Here's your RBNE. It did pull back. It's just trying to hit that MACD right now. It didn't get through right there, but that doesn't mean it's not going to get set up. You can see that 20 right there. It's not far off. So be keeping an eye on that one, that's for sure. And the other one was what, TMD. This one had some pullback as well right there, and that could be trying to bottom out, and you might see a quick reversal. So again, these oil and gas ones, I'll be keeping an eye on them. They did pull back, but they could be getting set up real quick. And how about HIMS? This looked pretty good today and looks like it wants to roll up there. So keep an eye on good old HIMS right there, HIMS, because look at that. It looks like it's getting that Pac-Man look and starting to look pretty right there. So that's one to keep an eye on. And what is next here? It is good old Snapchat. And let's see what Snap is up to. Remember, we said it was pretty bullish the other day, and it is up over 4% today. So there you go. It's Snapchat, SNAP, and looks like it could continue to keep that momentum as well. So there you go with that one. And how about Opendoor? It was running up a little bit today, but it ran up higher yesterday, to be honest with you. And I know you guys know who was the earliest on Opendoor right there, because I literally gave it out on the small cap show for a couple weeks there. So there you go. That was over 100%er. And DNN right here, that one's pretty good. I gave this one out, and it looks pretty nice. So I just gave out a bunch of poppers, and we're just going to be getting started here in the Discord, guys. We're about to get really crazy. I'm telling you, when the market pulls back or anything weird happens, that's when I like really fire up and get good. And not that I'm not good at the other times. You know what it is, that when it pulls back and it's hard to read, other people aren't posting as much, to be completely honest. When it's going up, everybody can pick them. I mean, let's face it. My tortoise can pick them when they're going up. It's pretty easy. And it's when everything starts pulling back and the markets are sideways, this, that, and everything else. That's when I really shine, because no one else is picking them out, and I'm hitting 100%ers every day, and multiple ones usually, because they're out there and it's hard to find. But you guys know we've done it multiple times when the markets turn around, look weird, or do anything, and I'm still just trugging along, hitting 100%ers, not complaining, not worrying, and never complain about the market, because we call it accurate pretty much every single day. There's a few days here and there that the SPY might go a different way, but for the most part, exactly what it does, we know, and everything else popping, we have a good idea. So that's how I love the show and love everything we do on here. It is a lot of fun, and we do now the markets pretty well. So here we go. Let's get cruising right through and see what's going on. And yeah, Trump has a few pumps, that's for sure. And let's see. That's Opendoor, DNN, real early on them. And this Light Bridge wasn't looking too bad. Pull back a little bit, but not bad right there. It looks like it's going to hit that support line on that pullback and try to bounce up for LTBR. And good old Lulu right here was trying to move, and this looks like it wants to start bouncing up, guys. So I don't know. A lot of them do look like they could start running. Market looks pretty crazy, I'm telling you that right now. And you got that one right here. You got a lot of the Mag 7 and them guys that are like underneath the MACDs and trying to pull back. And then you got a lot of these guys starting to set up. So there are a lot of opportunities, that's for sure. But I don't know if the SPY and Mag 7 are exactly the opportunities right now. And that's why we go through everything to see exactly what is the opportunity. So Lulu looking pretty good right there as well. And Applied right here. This one's not bad. It had a little pullback right there, and you can see it getting set up. Just give it a few days and we'll look at it. And then that one will be good. I gave out CLF yesterday, and boom, there you go. That was running up some more. And I think I even had that in the night note there for you guys. And bam, there you are. That was a good one today, and had that right there. So there you go with that. And how about our Deckers right here? DECK, and that was up a little bit, like a 0.5%. They do have earnings tomorrow, right? Yeah, oh no, it's Thursday, and has that Pac-Man look, so maybe a little healthy pullback, and Deckers wants to run. That's what it appears like anyway. So keep an eye on Deckers, that's for sure. And let's see what else is going on right here with that CPRT. This one looks good. Copart, I don't even know what they do, a specialty business service, but this one's looking good. Look at that one rolling up. Mentioned this one yesterday, and this one's looking pretty nice, I must say. And I think you might get a little run up there. So keep your eye on CPRT. That's what it is. CPRT. And this AutoZone, I think we talked about this last night, and I was saying it wanted to move, and it went up 1%. I know it's an expensive one, but it wants to cruise right there. So AutoZone not looking bad. And that Coca-Cola had earnings. It took a pretty good little run around, dipped down a little bit right there, but I think it is getting set up. And again, they did have earnings. I think they beat their earnings and it dipped down. And usually when that happens, they get set up to run. So just keep your eye on Coca-Cola. You can see that big run around 70.41 at open, came down to 68.69, and it's in the 69. So there you go for KO, and that is Coca-Cola. And let's see what our SNES is doing, because Ben is all over this. He interviews the CEO today, and the thing just pops. And look at that thing. Boom. And it did look good. He was asking me, I said if it got through that 520 area right there, or 523, whatever the heck I said it was, the thing would really pop up there. And there you go. And yeah, it was like, what, 521, I was saying. And there you go. It's in the 550s, hitting that top and not looking bad for tomorrow. So this is that company that does the rodent stuff, whatever it's I always forget what it's called, but the rodent, and they get rid of them with birth control. That's it. Evolve Rodent Birth Control. And yeah, they're getting deals all over and locking in big contracts, that's for sure. And there you go at SNES. And let's take a look and see what our DFLF is doing right here. Because, or is it I? That's right. It's a DFLI, because Dragonfly was running up in the top right there. I'm pretty sure this one is kind of like a lithium one, and it probably will try to fly up a little bit more in the morning. So you might want to keep an eye on the old Dragonfly energy right there. So there you go with that. And some of these guys were up ADN, and that one's pulling back, but some of these were setting up. I looked at them AYI. That's hard letters. And CC, look at that. There's that one. And this one's setting up. ELPW right there is not looking too bad. And that one looks like it's pretty good ENS. So there was a couple I was looking at these earlier, and that fuel cell right there. So you can take a look at them bad boys right there. And here we go. We'll keep on cruising right through and see what else is going on with Lucid, because that was up today and running back up. And you can see Lucid looks pretty good to get back into the top and run some more tomorrow. So there you go with LCID, and it does look good right there. How are you, Cadence? And yeah, so there's Lucid right there, and I'm telling you, that looks decent. And this NCNA is not looking bad. I know we've been watching this thing, and it crawled up a little yesterday, not looking bad today, a little healthy pullback. So keep an eye on good old NCNA right there, because that is not a bad one either. And let's see what we looked at FFAI, and like I said, everybody owes Nader because that was a beautiful call right there. But how about that Tilray? I gave this out yesterday on the small cap show, and there you go, boom! It's up 16% today and rolling into the top. So there you go. I hope you guys listen to the old small cap show because I nailed that one as well, and I did. I gave that out yesterday. I know my list is right there and Tilray is absolutely on it. I definitely mentioned it, and there you go. Because I even mentioned the whole cannabis sector looked good. MSOS, we can look at them right here. It was a little pullback, but still looking pretty good right there. And Canopy growth right here isn't looking bad. So keep an eye on all them guys. So there you go with them. And that is the cannabis sector, and something is going on with that. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they do something federally and try to get the young vote to swing in their favor right there. So SBET right here had been pulling back. It looks like it could be trying to set back up, guys. And you know, if it sets back up and curls up, it's going to get running. So absolutely keep an eye on this SBET right here. Let's see if it does want to curl back up and get cruising, because that was a good one. And where'd I put it there? And this ORIS, guys, what a dip on this thing today. Check that dip out right there. I was looking at this bad boy saying, is it want to bounce or not? Because it does look pretty good. Look at this China one. And it was a huge dip right down into the basement. And I think we're going to have to just look at it tomorrow. I'm not so sure it's going to get a huge bounce right there, but I will definitely take a look at it for sure. ORIS, and keep an eye on that one. And let's look at this BLNE and see what that's doing. This beeline right here was making a beeline. I know we mentioned it before. It was running up right there in a good spot, based out, and then beelined right back up there. So keep an eye on that in the morning. Could have some momentum. Looks like it might have pulled back a little bit there. Let me see what's happened on Beeline. I got to type the E or the L in. Hold on. What am I doing here? BLNE. BLNE. There we go. And yeah, it could run up early in the morning. So 4 o'clock crew, check that out. And how about that Devs right here? That one didn't look bad. I think Doge Mama 9 was talking about this thing, and it ran up some today. Ran up yesterday as well, but it does not look bad. So you might want to keep an eye on DEVS. As you can see, that run up yesterday was pretty big, but it still looks pretty good right there. So there you go with Devs. And here we go. Let's just keep on cruising through UAVS. This one's not looking bad. It's a drone one trying to pop up there into the top. So watch that. See if it gets into the top tomorrow. And I will be watching UAVS right here because it did look pretty good to try to curl up there. If it gets in the top, you'll probably have a nice little run. And that Rocket Mortgage, we just looked at it the other day. It was setting up. And there you go. That thing ran up pretty well, hitting some good resistance up there and hitting the top. So might have a little bit of healthy pullback tomorrow. Could run up early in the morning as well. So I'll look at it, but that's a good run up, but it is hitting resistance. And it still looks healthy, so it could break through. I guess it will depend on the market conditions right there. So I'll be looking at that Rocket Companies, but that had looked good already and ran up for us. And S dot right here was looking pretty good and looks like it might continue. So keep an eye on that laptop travel and morning, guys, because S dot could still cruise up right there. You can see it curling up, looking pretty good. That grabbed my attention earlier. And this PLRZ, a couple of people asked about Polyrizon, and let me see, that does look pretty good right there, I must say. I can see why. That looks pretty good, I must say. It was up today, 50%, up a little bit more. PL, what is it? RZ. And let's see. Yeah, that one could try to jump right over that 50 right there. That is actually looking pretty good. I'm definitely checking that out in the morning, that's for sure. And EOV, let me see what that's doing. Neo Volta, that's curling up and trying to run up into the top some more. So looks like a little bit of a momentum play right there for Neo Volta. And OBIO, we always look at IBIO or whatever the heck it is. And but not. And then we started looking at this one, and this one is trying to do a little curl up. Let's look at OBIO, and let's see. Yeah, I'd have to look at that one tomorrow. Here's IBIO right here, And this one is trying to roll back up there. Let me see what it has been up to. IBIO. And that thing's been way down and actually doesn't look bad right there. We might have clicked on a good one right there. I'm gonna have to write that IBIO down. Take a look at that tomorrow. Not looking bad. And IOVA. Let's see what that's doing right here. IOVA. And that's running up, and that might be another momentum play right there for IOVA. That's not looking too bad, I must say. And this BT is that bit, what is it? Hold on, bit something, I forget. BT, Bit Digital, that's that one. And that was pulling back a little bit, and it's hitting the MACD. We'll see. I'm assuming that these things will try to run up there, so, I'll watch them tomorrow. And again, crypto's still way up, so they just ran up and they're all pulling back there. So we'll be looking at them, see if they do want to run up and what's up with them. And MFH right here, Mercury FinTech, big old dip down there as well. So we'll see if that wants to bounce. I'm not so sure it wants to. And LFWD, I'm not LifeWord. We looked at this not too long ago. Actually, someone on StockTwits mentions it, and that does look pretty good right now. So actually, LFWD, and yeah, it's not looking bad right there, I must say. So that one could roll up a little bit higher. And Jack, let's see what Jack in the Box on. I don't even know if it is Jack in the Box or Jack and Jill. I have no idea. Jack in the Box, look at that. It is looking good. I looked at it earlier. I knew it was popping up there. And so yeah, here you go with good old Jack, JACK, and it is looking good. And I think you might get some more momentum on Jack right there. So Jack seems to want to run, has some strong legs. And here's another one setting up right here. We haven't looked at in a while. And what I do, it's ADBE, and that's Adobe right there and setting up looking pretty good. So you might want to keep an eye on good old Adobe right there, because there you go, hitting that 20. It gets up there tomorrow. It's going to definitely run up to that 50 for Adobe. And AYTU is looking pretty decent today, I must say. And that's curling up, not looking bad. So there you go with a couple good ones right there at the end, AYTU. And you might get a little more run up on that. And let's see what EIX is doing, because it was looking good for Edison International right here. And look at this thing curling up. They do have earnings coming up at the end of the month right there for EIX. And yeah, look at that look right there, guys. So there you go at EIX, and it's looking pretty good. Grabbed my attention, so I threw it on there. And there you go with that list. And I'm going to go right through the laptop travel list because it's an interesting one. It's a bunch of lithium ones, like kind of batteries and things of that nature. So there you are, and we'll go through that. Then we'll do our Joey's Jams. And if you noticed, I typed them out. I finally typed them in there, and I actually added Nike and DXYZ to Joey's Jams, and added a few other ones like Unity. After Chewy, I changed the list around a little bit, added Hood and Coin and Bull. So they're all on there. So we have a couple different ones. I think I got rid of Mountain, and I don't know what else I did, but there you go. And I made the list, and I don't know why I bolded Sezzle there, but I did unbold it after the fact that I printed these out. So there you are. We'll go through and see the laptop travel list and see what these lithium guys are up to. And yeah, I was looking at them, and I could definitely type them earlier when I was out in the shed, but now I don't know. I guess, like I said, the keyboards must be different sizes. I have no idea. Anyway, ABAT right here, American Battery, had been running up. It's still in the top right there, and it's an interesting look. If it wants to go up a little higher, it almost has that look like it's about to turn back around. So I'd have to look at it tomorrow. And what is AC associated? Is that what that says? I think it's AC right there. I'm not sure. Associated Capital Group. I'm not even sure if that's what I was writing down. But anyway, we'll look at this one right here. And that one looks like it could have a little bit of pullback coming up. I'm not even sure if that was the one. But ALB right here, let's see what ALB is doing. Albert Marley or something like that, Specialty Chemicals, and that thing's running in the top, and that looks like it might have a little momentum right there. So keep an eye on that in the morning because that doesn't look bad to keep running up. And ATLX is Atlas Lithium Corp, and look at that wants to run into the top as well for a little momentum. And BATT, I think this was down. No, it was up today. Oh, it was in the top right there. I know I just went through a couple random ones earlier and I just don't really remember. But anyway, BAT was up as well in the top, and you might still get a little more extension on this one tomorrow. So pretty interesting right there. And the CHNR. What was this doing? This China Natural Resources just jumping around. Remember, we had looked at this not long ago. We were talking about this thing, CHNR. And let's see, it's in that channel and it is trying to get set up there. So that one looks like it is trying to get set up at the moment. And this DFLI, we already looked at that Dragonfly Energy, and it's already running up there. And check it out in the morning. And FMST right here, Foremost Clean Energy, a little bit of pullback, but that's going to get a nice setup. I'm going to have to put that on a list to keep an eye on it. And it's ILIT, I think is what it was. Maybe not. Maybe it. Oh yeah, it's a lithium miners. That's what it was. And that thing's in the top right there. ILIT. That's it. ILIT. I can't even say it. But anyway, it is in the top right there. It looks like it could run up a little bit more. And we know what this LAC is. This is America's something of Lithium America's something. Yeah, Lithium America's Corp right there. And we've looked at this before, and that looks like it wants to jump up into the top a little bit higher right there. So watch that one tomorrow. So a good little lithium list right here. And I think that's LIMI right there. And that is another ETF. And let me take a better look at it over here. What was it? LIMI. And that one's a little goofy. It is up in the top, but I don't really particularly like these kind of looks on these candles. They're real flat like looks right there. But it is moving, don't get me wrong. And it was up 2% right there. And looks like it wants to stay in the top for a little bit longer. So that is what it looks like. And LITP. Sprott lithium miners. This one looks good. It's in the top. So these lithium ones have been running up there. That's for sure. And PLL. Let's see. Piedmont Lithium. And that looks like it's curling up to get into the top. So you might see that $10 resistant area right there on PLL. And let's look at SES right here. SES AI Corp. Not sure what they're up to. Auto parts just pulling back right there. And let me look at SGML and Sigma Lithium Corp. And that one looks like it might run up a little bit more in the top right there. And SLI is Standard Lithium. And that's just kind of hanging out, pulling back a little bit, being flat. So there you go with a bunch of lithium ones. Thank you very much, Laptop Travel. Greatly appreciate them. And let me take a look and see what the Joe Lee's jams are doing right here. What's IQV doing? That thing's run up there pretty big off some earnings, huh? And DHI, Dr. Horton. What's the doctor doing over here? Residential construction, and that's running up, hitting into the top right there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. That's for sure. DHI. It doesn't look bad right there. It does have that resistance right there, like 155, but not looking bad for DHI. And here we go. Let's take a look and see what our Jolie's jams are doing, and we'll keep on cruising through. I'll take a look and see what you guys want to look at. But here we go at Agrify, AGFY. And that was up. Remember, we were talking about it getting set up not long ago. I think you're going to see a runner right there with Agrify and BLNK right here. Our blink charging's run up a little bit, hitting the top. We'll see maybe a little healthy pullback, but nothing crazy. And for some reason, I bolted Sezzle, and it needs to be bolted because it's pulling way back there. And we'll see if it stops there at that 50. It could pull back a little bit more and then really pull back some. So I have to look at Sezzle tomorrow, that's for sure. And good old Sterling Infrastructure was coming down as well. It almost looks like it wanted to bottom and wants to reverse back up again. So that's an interesting one. And I know Trump is talking about taking the capital gain tax out of selling a house. Yeah, that would have been real nice a few years ago. But anyway, yeah, that would be really nice in the future. Rivian not looking bad. Looks like it wants to run up right there. And how about our Symbiotic right here? That was way up and pulling back. And we'll have to see if it's trying to pull up. And I added Nike to the list right here on the Jolie's Jam. So all of a sudden she does like Nike. And it is trying to crawl up. It has some serious resistance up there. And I would like to try to see it get through that 75 area right there, that 75, 95, 93, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. We have to look at that tomorrow. And again, it could run up there with some good news happening. So DXYZ to Destiny Tech. Let me type it in right. DXYZ. Destiny Tech. And remember, we're coming back down here to get set back up. So there you go with your Jolie's Jams right there. And let me take a quick look and see what our SPY, Big Caps, Mag 7, everybody else is doing. And then I will definitely go through the messages and see what you guys want to look at. And the SPY did close up. It was down for a good part of the day. And then it somehow went up right there and still has that crazy look, guys. I still don't trust it. I'm not sure what is going on here. Powell didn't resign today, and but there was a fake letter going around, and I promise you, I didn't start that. So definitely crazy stuff going on, that's for sure. And Apple right here was up a little bit, has been looking good, and doesn't look bad to go into tomorrow. You can see it crawling up right there. So we did like Apple, and it does look good. So Apple's looking pretty sweet, I must say. And there you go with that one. And Amazon had been looking good right there, AMZN right here. And it did have a little healthy pullback, and we'll see if it's just a little healthy pullback. Google is still looking good right there, but also has that crazy look up at the top. And it could just, bounce out of the top relatively quick. I'm not sure. I have to look at Google tomorrow. We can look at it on here and see if we get a better look right here. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it does want to go up a little, but you could have a little healthy pullback at the same time, and then maybe it would go up a little higher. Definitely have to look at that in the morning. And Meta right here was pulling back, and I think Zuck is coming down right now. I think he just met with Trump. I don't know about what, but there you go. And Microsoft, this chandelier out of the top, and I'm telling you guys, I do think your Microsoft has to come down. I've been saying it for a while. Here's your MSFD, and it's getting out of the basement finally, curling up, and it looks pretty good. That looks like it bottomed out. Maybe have a little healthy pullback, but there you go with that. And that is your Microsoft. And of course, Nvidia was down, and that might be the one that collapses them all right here. And that is dipping down. So we'll see how far Nvidia really wants to pull back. It could dictate it all. And Tesla has earnings coming up tomorrow. And I think Trump and Elon are fighting and all kinds of crazy, gnarly stuff going on. So, anyway, there you go. And Portnoy put 10 million on Elon. Bet pays off as Tesla soars 12% in 2 weeks. That's $1 million right there. So there you go. And but yeah, it did certainly come down, and it was set up there. It's hitting some resistance, and I'm not so sure it really wants to pop up on earnings right there. So it is going to be an interesting one. That is for sure. We'll have to take a look at it and see what Tesla is up to. And here we go. And let's look at the rest of them. And again, I added some other ones. AMC right here hitting that resistance. Not looking bad, trying to crawl up. GameStop again getting set up right there. So that's not looking bad either. And here's that Chewy right here. And again, that one's getting set up. So definitely be keeping an eye on Chewy. I think that one might actually curl through and get rolling right there. And our unit, I got to look at Chewy over here to be completely honest with you. And yeah, I mean, look at that look right there. It's going to push the envelope pretty hard, that's for sure. And our Unity has been pulling back. It was way in the top, and not sure if it'll stay up there. How about Netflix right here? It is pulling back. And remember what I said, guys. It was coming under the 50 and it was dipping down hard. And boom, there you go with Netflix. Called that one pretty precisely. And there we are. And I'm telling you guys, they're going to start happening. A lot of these AVGO coming back down right there. MU is dipping down, hitting resistance, but I think it's or support. I think you're coming down a little bit more. And TSM right here was pulling back to the 20, and I think you have a little more pullback. So exactly what I was talking about. SMCI, that one's pulling back right there. And how about your AMD pulling back as well? That was setting up. And even QCOM was setting up right there, but pulled back a little bit. And I think you do see it roll back down, and it does not get rolling right now. Snow's coming down. You can see it right there. And PayPal right here. Let's look at it. It was set up, and look, remember who said PayPal was good? And if you go through that morning note, guy, or that night note that I do, just look at the ones that popped up and look at what I've written down in the last 2 days. It's kind of insane. And it's just getting started. I'm telling you, I'm in the groove and I'm crushing the market and in the accounts and stuff. I'm just rocking and rolling. I've been doing well, but again, I didn't like the way the market looked there for a little while. And now, again, we're just not playing the spy in them bad boys. And I really think you're going to see that pullback. And there's been a lot of great opportunities happening. So now and then, and I do love my new setup in the shed. It's awesome. So I just having a good old time out there, that's for sure. But yeah, look at that PayPal, perfect right there. I mean, boom, that was nice. And that's all you got to do is check out the ones that really want to move and look at the charts. Intel right here, a little flat, might be coming down at the moment. Dell right there was coming down, like we said. And I mean, we called all these bad boys right here. IBM wasn't looking bad, but we weren't sure what it wanted to do. It is pulling back, and I'm not so sure it's going up right there. So that I think is going to have a little bit of pullback. And then we have Palantir right here, and that one is pulling back. And it still could have went up there. Maybe it tries to bounce tomorrow, but I'm not exactly sure. You are getting some pullbacks from these guys that were in the top. Sophie's trying to hang out, but I just think it might be parachuting down, is what it looks like at the moment. And then let's look at Mara, Riot, and them. They're moving back up again as crypto's still ripping up here. So there you go. Riot has some good resistance up there, and we'll have to probably pull back. Mara looks a little better, and CleanSpark looks like it could go up a little bit right there. And MicroStrategy isn't bad. It's coming back down, but to set up. So I would keep an eye on good old MSTR. And how about Robinhood? That was down as well, coming out of the top, not looking as good. And that is not how you spell coin, because that's how you spell Coinbase. That was coming down, and that looks like it's going to come out of the top as well. And even Bull right here was up, and this one looks like it's about to start popping. Remember, we were saying it had looked bullish the other day. It had that little healthy pullback, and we had mentioned that, and bam, there you go with Bull. So all you have to do is pay attention, and I'm pretty sure I had that on the note as well. And here you are with Space. It had run up, pulling back. You could get a little run up in that top area, but be careful. You got to make sure it's really bouncing up there. And Boeing in a spot where I think you're going to see this one pull back. So all the ones that had been in the top for a while, I think are going to pull back, and we'll see some other great opportunities. DJT trying to run up. I'm not so sure it's really ready to blast off. And Fun's just kind of hanging out as well right there. And let's see what McDonald's is doing. That one was in the channel today, and see up, curled up. Remember, we said it was going to stay in that channel, and that's exactly what it's doing. It is curling up, staying in that channel right there. And Disney right here, Luis Rodriguez, was up a hair, and I don't think it's going up. I think you might see that coming back down tomorrow. But again, you're always one tweet away from the markets just going nutty, and you just never know with Trump. And here is Oxy, and again, these oil and gas ones are going to get set up. They're just taking a little longer and setting up a little bit slower right there, but that's perfectly fine. ExxonMobil not looking too bad today. And there you go with our list right there. And that is a little revised list that we have. And let's go through and see what you guys want to see. So here we are. Let's take a look and see what's going on with the market, what you guys want to look at. And Toyota Motor right here. That's not looking bad to get set up right there, Luis Rodriguez. I would say that's not looking too bad. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, you are the Toyota Motor King, that's for sure. And what is Mark? Isn't that a Remark or something? Isn't it a penny stock? Or it was. I'm not even sure. MARK. Remark Holdings, there you go. And it must be in the OTCs. It dipped down pretty well right there, but doesn't look bad for a bounce. So I know that one we used to trade, but it doesn't seem like it's on there at the moment. So there you go. But that was up, what, 500% today? It went from what, 3 to, holy cow, that was crazy, like 0.02. That was pretty wild. So that one ran up pretty big. And let me see what else is going on here. Tomorrow we have the economic calendar. I just reposted out so you guys can see real quick, and let's see what else is going on. And I'll show you the economic calendar real quick. I didn't get a chance to really look at it that well. There was nothing today. And then tomorrow, NBA mortgage applications, existing home sales, and EIA crude oil investors. And then Thursday, release initial claims, continuing claims, S&P Global. S&P, that's manufacturing and services and new home sales and all this good stuff. And then Friday's durable goods, and there you are. So that's what it looks like this week. But there's a lot of great earnings coming up as well. And again, I straight up said yesterday, we got to put that one out. I said that's setting up right there, and boom, that one popped up there. That Nike, I don't know, was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know, but I definitely pointed it out because we were going through all them things, and I like them all. These things are pretty cool up here. You get to see the energies, and they're just kind of sitting flat, getting ready to get cruising right there. Our bonds, they were running up, a little bit of pullback now. I don't know what softs are, but it's cocoa and cotton and all these things. And orange juice has been running up there, and coffee's been way down. And metals right here, we've been looking at that gold and silver looking really good. I'm telling you, these things continue to want to go up right now. And how about our meats, our live cattle and stuff like that? And grains, we also can look at them. Some oats going down. And let's see, rough rice, that looks like it's about to pop. So keep your eye on rough rice. And here's our currencies right here. And there you go with these. USD has been beaten down right there. And let's see what else looks pretty good. Nothing really that crazy, to be completely honest with you. So there you go. And let's go ahead and look and see what you guys want to see. And I think Lewis in Utah might have saw Wang and Lee a little bit too early. I think that's what he's talking about. It is over 10 right there, and that was a beauty. And how are you, Jason? And let's see. And yeah, Luis Rodriguez was watching the Joe Exotic. So everyone, make sure you watch that thing. It's pretty wild. And let me see what's going on. How much did they say they wanted for a meth? And it was 7,000 an ounce. I think that's what he said. Somewhere's around there, Jason. It was crazy. I never heard prices like that, but I don't doubt it either. So I'm sure. I mean, I've heard you see these Instagram people talking about that stuff too, and they do say it's pretty wild, the prices and all kinds of shit going on. So it's wild with the cell phones in there and the drugs and the everything. We looked at KSS and D Nut right there, Jason, at the beginning, and that was Krispy Kreme looking pretty good, and Kohl's ran up. And speaking of drugs, ABVX is up bigly in the after hours. And what is ABVX? Abivax right here. And whoa, then we checked. Whoa, that is up pretty big. I don't remember if we even looked at it. There was a couple that had popped up, but whoa, that one did pop up. What the hell did they have happen? They announced a positive phase 3 result from both Abtech 8-week reduction trial. I could never even do fundamentals because I can't even read the damn news. I don't even know what they're talking about. It sounds like a bunch of words to me. I don't even know, but it's a good thing I can look at the chart and know what's going to happen. So, but we were not looking at that one, but it did pop up pretty huge, I must say. And Lockheed Martin and Northrop, what a tale of two worlds right there today. One went up 50, the other one went down. Lockheed Martin went down 50, Northrop Grumman went up 50. Estee Lauder keeps on cruising up there, looking pretty good, and we were super early on that. And here's your Google bull right there, and it's in the top. It could run up a little bit more. And our Samuel Adams was looking good, and there you go with that. And remember, we were looking at it last night, and bam, there you go with good old Sam. He was running, and Zach looks like, or what was it today? Somebody looked good today. It wasn't Zach. What was the other person's name? That Jack, was it? Jack and Jill. Yeah, that one looked pretty good. So Sam ran yesterday. Jack's looking pretty good right there. And McDonald's right here is running up as well, like we saw, curling up. Hims is looking good. That BMNR is one to definitely keep an eye on right here. I'm watching this one. Let me jot it down here. BMNR, just to keep an eye on that thing. And Oscar, we looked at, and Howard Hughes, Howard Hughes Holdings. That one's looking pretty good too. HHH right there. The Triple H is looking good. We did look at Bull. It was looking nice right there, and we had been pretty bullish on it. And MEDP right there, MedPace, and look at that thing ran up $168. That thing ran up into the top pretty big, I must say. BITF is at Bit Farms, and that thing's running up there as well into the top. And again, I just don't think the margins on some of these. I mean, this is a capital market talking about the miners and stuff like that, but just, keep an eye on that. I think you might be better off just buying like Ripple, guys, because it's going to be ripping. So, and this is ETHU, the Ether ETF, and it is in the top pulling back. PLRZ, I think we looked at it already. Game Rocket, but we'll check it out again because it was looking pretty good right there. It ran up in the after hours, and it does not look bad right there for like Poly Horizon. Yeah, look at this thing, and trying to jump up, curl up. So I would be keeping an eye on PLRZ in the morning. Coca-Cola is switching to pure cane sugar. I do know that. They announced that the other day. And Pepsi just tweeted out that they were doing something in the future. I don't know, because I responded to it and said, "Are you getting rid of corn syrup and all the nonsense you put in that?" So yeah. And how are you, Cadence and Jason? Where do we get this? Get a show from the shed? I I actually, you know what? The shed is so small that when I talk in there, the sound just bounces around so much. And this is set up perfectly. That's why I made that shed so I could work out there during the day and do the shows and anything like that that I do. I do down here still. So that is what I do there, Jason. So yeah, I kind of jump around all day, go outside, come back in, go outside. I'm all over the damn place, but I enjoy it, and it helps me keep cruising, and I'm not down in the basement all day, so it works out pretty well. Yeah, I do like the small cap show here. I was going to do it out there, but again, the sound would be crazy. It would just be bouncing everywhere. So that's why I just doing everything still down here, and the setup was still perfect. So I just put a whole new setup out there. That's all I did. And so yeah, it's great. And TM is up big, is in the after hours, huh? Oh yeah, up like $8. There you go. So we've been looking at your Toyota motor. That is looking pretty good. And you called that 170 right there. Beautiful. And let's see, Luis Rodriguez, that GRYP PSQ. Oh yeah, we were talking about all the pump trumps right there. The Trump pumps, and go Clove, and that is running up. Started position with the Lion right there. Let's look at it in the pre-market. And didn't the Lion look good yesterday? Remember, it was starting to look pretty good off of that. I think it was yesterday. Was it not yesterday or 2 days ago? I forget what day. But yeah, there you go, right there. Not looking too bad. And I think you will get that roll up. So that might be a really good one right there, Jason. And SNES is condoms for rodents. And yeah, it's birth control for rodents right there. So it certainly is. And Cadence wants to see RR Rich Tech Robotics, is it not? Rich Tech, there you go, Rich Tech Robotics. And let's see what's going on right here. That is definitely getting set up. Whether it's ready for tomorrow, Cadence, let me see. RR, there you go, ripping up there today, 209 to 230, back to 217 at the moment, and not looking bad, I have to say. Ripped up there to two. Where is that to? So it's like right there, hitting that resistance. That's a good one right there. I must say, Rich Tech Robotics going to get set up, and that dip today at that 191 was probably a beautiful price right there, Cadence. So I would take a look at that, see if you get any of that pullback right there at the lower price. But that's what you're looking at. And Vine Therapeutics, VYNE, looks like it is trying to. I'm not so sure this one wants to run. Let's see what it did in the after hours. Yeah, that one could still be pulling back. Be careful with the Vine right there. Tesla, I again not touching that one on earnings, hitting them resistance up there, and has a crazy look. Not sure what Tesla even wants to do, to be completely honest with you. TSLL, isn't that the bull one? And yeah, has that crazy look too, and even TSLS right here is that like look where they could go any which way right there. You had that pullback, but that looks like a bottom. I'm not sure with Tesla. Not messing with that one for earnings, that's for sure. And MBAV M3 Brigade Acquisition, that looks like a shell company because it is, and it is pulled back right there. Let's see, because they do love to bounce off them bottom lines. We've noticed that with these shell companies, especially. So, yeah, I'll keep an eye on that one right there. MBAV. I'll look at that tomorrow, Cadence. That looks like it is getting set up right there. Should start to curl up. Might have a little more pullback, so I'll look at it, but not bad there. ARM, that's quietly going up 100%. Let's see. And yeah, look at that thing. And looks like it's setting up, but if it pulls back underneath that trend line, it's going to get smoked underneath the 50 right there. So that's all you got to look for on ARM. So keep an eye on it. And if you weren't already in it, be careful with it. If you were, watch for your profits there. And Doge Mama 9. You're welcome. And you heard the Joe Exotic interview. Let me know what you think. Hope everybody can check that out because I'm telling you, it's wild. Luis Rodriguez said the futures are slightly green. And Zach, I did forget to check out ETF there. It was at what, 2.4, 2.3. It wasn't looking bad. I'm telling you, I think could get some really big candle wicks going on. It was at 2.4. It's still there, and it's not looking bad right now. So I must say you might see some pretty good wicking up. It could definitely do. We've seen it happen before, and it's run pretty big. So that is what the ETF is looking like right now. And that REGN we were looking at the other day, and that's run up there and looks really good right there. So keep an eye on REGN. And I know we mentioned that the other day on the list. And bam, wow, that looks really good right there at 560. It's an expensive one, but it does look really nice. That's for sure. And let's see. Jason, I'll find out if there's any discount codes for the Discord. Okay, I'm not even sure. I don't do the pricing side. That Rhett takes care of all that stuff. So I'll shoot him a message and I will find out. And if there is, I'll post it out for you. Okay, how's that? And because sometimes they do just have like this and then I'll let you know. Maybe is there any holidays coming up with us today? I don't even know. Today's the middle of July, so not really any holidays in like the next week or two. But I will ask. They did have one for a little while there, and it was like 20% off or something. But anyway, I'll check it out for you. And yeah, I'm telling you guys, that night note, I'll do it tonight. It's been on fire, and it's only going to get better. I only did it 2 nights, and the picks on there are pretty beautiful, I must say. And I'll start zoning them in, even like zeroing in even better for you guys. Like I said, I'm getting zoned in, and we are going to just start crushing this market and making accounts grow. It's not going to matter what's going on. I was just worrying about that SPY up at the top, how it is. It's just staying up there, and we're just not messing with it. And we're not going to mess with any of them big caps, mag 7s, or any of them guys. We'll mess with the ones at the bottom that are setting up still, because you just can't tell. So, and but this one looks good, REGN, that's for sure. So I will let you know, Jason, about that. That's for sure. And IQV, let me check it out right here. IQVIA, I have no idea what that is, but it did run up pretty well and looks like it might continue its way up there. And DHI right here, Dr. Horton. Oh, yeah, we looked at these at the beginning, and Dr. Horton was running up. And so, yeah, I wasn't familiar with that IQV, but it is running up there. TMDX, extremely oversold. Let's look at it right here. Transmedics, oh, that one looks pretty good to get curled up right there. We do love when they're way down there, that's for sure. And they're trying to curl up. Just watch for this 50 or this 20 coming down. It does look like it tried the bottom. So let me take a look at that one tomorrow. Let me write down here TMDX, and I can keep an eye on that one there. And let's see, Tesla and Google earnings are tomorrow in the after hours. So that's going to be huge, guys. That's for sure. I have a feeling Elon will have a few surprises tomorrow for investors. I'm sure he always does. And Tesla's going to pivot. Plus, their new model is getting rave reviews. So there you go with that. And let's look at Target right there, Robin, and see what TGT is doing right here. It is up and looking really good, I must say. And I would say Target's trying to run up even higher. So keep an eye on Target. That does look really good. I like that one, Robin. I'm going to jot that down for tomorrow to take a look at. So I hope you got into that one as it's running up there. It looks like it's going to keep some momentum, trying to break through right there. You can see trying to get through that MACD, and I don't see why it wouldn't continue the momentum. So that is looking good. And remember FedEx and UPS, we were looking at them for a while. Oh, that might be a great opportunity right there for FedEx and UPS. Oh, we're definitely keeping an eye on them bad boys. UPS and FedEx right there. Definitely going to have our attention because they're getting set up as well. Definitely like that look, Luis Rodriguez and HSY. Let's see what that's doing right here. That Hershey company did run up some more today. Remember, I said I wasn't watching. I stopped drinking chocolate milk, and there you go. But it is Hershey is looking pretty good to run up. And yeah, jail sucks. Federal prison is much better than state. I would agree than that. And it depends where you get to go. Some of the federal prisons are a little less maximum security than others. So it all depends on where you're at. But I mean, I wouldn't want to be locked up in a cell dealing with that shit every day. That's for damn sure. I mean, your life's just ticking away there and miserable. So I would not enjoy that at all, and I do feel bad for the guy, especially. I mean, and again, look at all that. Just listen to what he said the other day, and then go on that site right there to Joe Exotic official. There's all kinds of stuff I was looking at last night. I'll be scrolling around tonight, checking it out again, doing a little more research because again, we're gonna have another call on Thursday. This is became a two-part interview, two-part series here, guys. I had no idea it was going to be, but I'm all about it and I'm all good for it. So make sure you listen to the first part because I can't imagine the second part's going to be astronomically crazy after I look at all this info and have 100 questions for them. So you guys know it's going to be crazy. And so there you go. And then Nikki rally bios on Asian shares as Trump announces that Japan trade deal and U.S. reach a trade pacts, and Bassett sees no reason for Powell to leave, and that's interesting. And S&P 500 futures are flat after index post fresh closing record. Trump announces Japan trade deal, Asian stocks, U.S. futures rise on the Japan trade deal. And then Trump announced it. So there you go. No problem, Jason. Glad you tuned in. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I greatly appreciate everyone tuning in all the time. And let's just see what's happening over here. I bet we got everything because that's the other thing. I kind of revised what what our list is going to be like, and you can tell we're not going over the same exact ones, like huge list. Switching them up as you can tell and picking out what's popping for sure and running through them on the show. And then again, that night note's been really good. And so, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty solid going forward. That's for sure. And TM is at 193 overnight. So, and that's thanks to that Trump's trade deal with Japan. And there's your open door DFLI and Wang and Lee. Watch for that one. We were super early. NCNA looking pretty good to set up. And this GIBO is not looking bad, guys. So keep your eye on it. We've had that on our list for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And HCTI is another penny one. So the penny ones look like they were going to start reverse split, and just GVH did it. And then it ran up there like they usually do. But these ones look pretty safe right here. IXHL still kind of cruising along up there, and that FFAI running up. PLRZ, DNN, super early on that. And Tilray gave you yesterday. So there you go with them. And that Warner Brothers is still up there at the top. Nokia took a huge dip, and there's that Oscar Ford right there hanging out. And Big Bear pulling back. And what's that plug doing? That's still trying to hang out there. And Cypher was going up a little more today. And that AIRE is dipping down. So there you go. And that looks like we got to all of them. American Airlines right there, just kind of chilling. There's Grab kind of getting set up, I would say. So we might have to look at Grab, see what it's doing right there. I did see this HTOO, and that was running up this morning. And Zeus right here, there you go, Zeus Power. That one was cranking as well. And that BOF, we saw that this morning. Branch Out Food, it was down a little bit, and IVF. Then that like reverse split or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, and there's that huge dip, ORIS, and we'll be watching that one. LVLU is a apparel one, and that one's just kind of hanging out. There's that Shim, and that Raya took a big dip. How about Hit, guys? I was super early on that one. Remember this guy? And we had this in like the 50s, 60s, and 70s or something. I was trading it back then. I remember telling you guys. Wish I had just held it, huh? That would have been a big popper. But anyway, you don't just hold everything. You can't. And GNR not looking bad, and that's a natural resources ETF. And there's your coals that run up today, and that's what it looks like. And how about Kirkland's right there? We were talking about it last night, and that was a big popper as well. And that TWG Top Wealth we were looking at, we'll keep an eye on that. Farm as well, we were checking that out. So a ton of good ones, guys. And yeah, we're just gonna get started in the Discord, getting accounts rolling there. So, and that Big Bear, what is BBAI doing tonight? It is down a little bit, and that's probably getting set up right there. Good support down there, and it'll probably try to pull itself back up tomorrow. So we'll take a look and see what that market's going to look like. You can see it's pulling back, but it could pull itself up. And the SPY was up a little bit. The Japan deal went through, and we'll have to see what's going on. You can see in the after hours, it's up a little bit. And we'll see. We'll get back into the top. Very interesting. If it does, we're going to have a nice little crank up. And then I guess it's going to pull back in August. I'm telling you, you're going to see a pullback. They just keep cranking out news and doing stuff. And I had mentioned that before. They have a whole Rolodex of things that they're just going to keep doing. So it's hard to tell. And that's why we're not going to play too many games with these things up here. We'll play with the ones that are down and that are better opportunities. So there you go, everybody. I think we did get to everything right there. Let me see if there's anything trending that I missed real quick. Hold on real fast. And Coles Neo right there, that was up, that Chinese auto manufacturer or Chinese car dealership and auto manufacturer or something, and that's running up there. That's China one, and Galaxy still running up here, and we had looked at that the other day. And that ABVX and GameStop is running up, not looking bad. So there you go. And that is what our market looks like. The only question about a pullback is when. That's the absolute truth right there. You're not kidding. And with that with that Japan news, and I'm telling you guys, look how crazy this looks. SPXS. I mean, I'm telling you, I definitely am keeping my eyes open for it, because it looks like it's going to happen sooner than not. The VIX was down right there. And let's see, it was just pulling back a little bit. And I think your 20 is going to catch it and catch it up there. That's what it looks like to me. So that's why I'm being very cautious on the SPY and things of that nature. But we have other ones that look good. So there you go, everybody. I'd say that's a pretty fun market review. Be sure to go check out the Joe Exotic interview from last night. It's posted all over on X and YouTube and everything else. So be sure to check it out. Let me know what you think about it. Repost it out and get him a little support right there. And again, I'm going to be talking to him again Thursday night about 8 o'clock. So I'll talk to him probably for about a half hour, 40 minutes. So we'll do the show right after that. No big deal. And we need to filter out the Japanese stocks. Yeah, we can do that. I think we can filter for Japanese. I'll do that and look at them for the morning. And so, yeah, I think we got to everything. We went right through that list, the laptop travel list, which was really good. A lot of lithium ones right there. To Joey's Jams, I added Nike and DXYZ to her list. And then I changed the other big cap list around a little bit. And I think it's pretty cool and I like it. So there you go. And I just realized that like some of the ETFs are way off. I'm just looking at them now, so I got to change some of them. I forgot to do that. And so yeah, some of them are way off, so I'll change them all around and make them line up again, and then everything will be good again. And that KORU is the Korean one, and I remember looking at this before, and that is looking pretty decent. I mean, we'll see if it jumps up there tomorrow. That's for sure. So I'll keep an eye on that tomorrow and see what it wants to do right there. But I would say that's a pretty fun market review. And I did just want to look at one thing, and I think it is. Oh yeah, we already looked at it, the gold and silver and stuff, and yeah, they are looking pretty good right there. And I was checking them out earlier, so there you go. They were looking good. That J Nug wasn't bad. You can see it jumped up right there, and then UGT looking pretty good. We were just talking about these things, so again, that's what it looks like to me. And pulling back, but it has been strong. Yeah, that has been that KORU. It definitely has been pretty strong right there, staying up there. If it jumps into this channel, it'll probably get up over that 87 and run. You just gotta see exactly what that wants to do. It does look like it's trying to, but at the same time, pulling back gives you that mixed look right there on that KORU. And there you go, everyone. So anyone new, tune in, greatly appreciate it. Be sure to follow along on X and YouTube, and make, like I said, check out the Joe Exotic interview from last night. I posted it up, and it is crazy, guys. I'm telling you, I sat here, I couldn't even believe what he was telling me, and I wasn't expecting all that. I don't know what I was expecting, to be completely honest. I was just going into having a conversation and asking him what's going on, what's new, and it was pretty wild. I was like, holy cow, this is pretty crazy. And then he told me to go check out all the information, look at it all, and then we'll have another call on Thursday. So yeah, definitely a crazy two-parter right there with the Tiger King. And again, just a huge show on Netflix, one of the biggest. And the guy's just sitting in prison. And now, if you look at all this evidence, holy cow, it's pretty wild, guys. I was scrolling through it last night. I'm gonna hop on and look at some more tonight as well, so I can get ready for Thursday to talk to him. And but yeah, and I'll be looking at the market, see what's going on. So there you go. You know, I'm always looking at things, checking them out, and seeing what's happening here. And I got to make my night note right there. So anyone in the Discord, look for that. It's been on fire. So I'll make sure I go through the market real quick, comb through it again after I do the show. That's what I have to do. I literally got to comb through the market again because I don't even remember what the hell I even say. I make a couple notes here so that I can look at it fairly quick, but yeah, that I have to look at it and see. And then I do kind of enjoy doing the night note. It makes it easy for me in the morning. I honestly have a great game plan, and like I said, we'll zero in on what exactly to trade and where. I just kind of get in the format and everything ready for it. So that just, like I said, sit tight. We got the market looking a little crazy, but we still got it under control, and we'll be now and everything. So there you go, everybody. Check out the Joe Exotic interview. Tune back in at 7 a.m. because we do this show, a pre-market show at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, and we do this night show at 9 p.m. Sunday night through Thursday night. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's always a good time. Any questions, hit me up on X, DM me, and I will definitely respond. And if I obviously don't see it, just tag me in a post, like make a post and a comment, and just tag me in it. And I always see them. They seem to pop up pretty well, like at the Dougie Fresh pick, and I'll see that. So there you go, everyone. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Enjoy the rest of your night. Get some rest. It's been a pretty crazy week, and it'll probably be even crazier tomorrow. You got that Tesla and Google earnings at the end of the day, and it's like earnings are really kicking into high gear tomorrow. So you have some of the big caps starting, and the other ones are following. So it's going to be an interesting one, that is for sure. So there you go, everyone. I'll catch you guys at 7 a.m. We'll check out what the market's doing, what crypto's doing, everything else. But that is what everything's going on. And yeah, and Ozzy Osbourne passed away. How crazy is that? And he just did his last final farewell show, like not even long ago. I don't even think it was a month ago. And then he passed away this morning, unfortunately. So RIP to Ozzy. He did ride one crazy train, that's for sure, that guy. So there you go. We'll end it on that note, and enjoy your evening. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Have a good night, everybody.